Three starters with all three of the pledge moves ended up making day 2 at both the Baltimore Regional Championship as well as the Louisville Regional Championship, ending to be one of the most consistent teams in the North American meta so far. We're going to be trying out this team and seeing how well it can perform. A triple starter team with all three pledge moves. So what are pledge moves? Well, normally they are just an 80 base power move, no secondary effects necessary when just being used as one solo attack. However, in doubles they do have interesting properties. When both are used in the same turn without getting interrupted, such as a flinch or one Pokemon is asleep, turns into a 160 base power attack with the super effective typing of the two pledges being the type and using the special attack stat of the slower Pokemon. It will also fuse instantly once the first pledge move is used. So for instance, if I have a speed order on the field, whereas a Blaziken Empoleon on my side of the field, and my opponent has something like a Kingambit that's faster than my Empoleon, the speed order would normally be Blaziken attacks, then Kingambit, and then Empoleon. But because of how pledge moves work, once Blaziken goes for the fire pledge, Empoleon's move will instantly fuse, allowing Empoleon's move to go before the Kingambit, and that attack will fuse, allowing for the combined pledge attack into whatever slot you choose on your opponent's side. With the pledges, you do have 3 of them, and they are only really on starter Pokemon other than Miracle. You do have some interesting options when you fuse the ones with different effects. So if you fuse the fire and the water pledge, you get a rainbow that lasts on the field, which doubles all secondary effect chances for moves on your side of the field. In this case, the only move that can be used on this team that actually has a secondary effect is Ice Beam. So normally Ice Beam is 10% chance to freeze. Under that rainbow, you have a 20% chance to freeze your opponent. There are other moves that of course can be used, like Rock Slide Flinch would go up from 30% to 60%, but that is not used on this team. Next, we have the Grass and the Water Pledge, which is a swamp that envelops your opponent's side of the field, reducing the speed of their Pokemon to 25% of their original speed, like pre-Gen 6 Paralysis. And then finally, the Grass and Fire Pledge, which creates a sea of fire that damages all Pokemon on your opponent's side of the field except fire types for 12.5% of their HP every single turn. All these pledges do last for 4 turns after they are set up. So this team really likes to utilize the pledge effects as a way that can be used to set up, whether you use, mainly it's going to be the Sea of Fire and the Swamp you're looking at. The Water and the Fire Pledge Rainbow doesn't really do too much on this team because only Empoleon and Porygon 2 can take advantage of it. With Ice Beam, it's not very consistent. So the two ones you got to set up are going to be the Blaziken with the Fire Pledge alongside the Rillaboom with Grass Pledge. And the idea here is you create that Sea of Fire to chip away your opponents so you can damage them and put them into range of attacks, for instance from the very powerful Dragapult or from the very powerful Ursaluna potentially, because they might be able to survive a Facade or a Headlong Rush if they're Eevee specifically. However, after that pledge, that definitely screws up usually a lot of the calcs. Then we have the Swamp, which is the Water Pledge and the Grass Pledge, and what that allows you to do is reduce their speed of the field. You don't need to set up Trick Room for Ursaluna, and then Ursaluna, even though it's slow, because of the big reduction in speed from the Swamp, can outspeed a lot of your opponent's Pokemon, even Pokemon under Tailwind, and then just threaten heavy damage with a Guts boosted attack. So that's the idea of this team. You do have the pledges to help out. So let's look over the individual mons. We have the Blaziken up first with that Focus Sash, this one just being a very offensive set with a very powerful close combat with max attack alongside Upper Hand, which is an interesting move because it can block priority attacks such as Sucker Punch from Kingambit and more, which is very nice, as well as Fake Out. So if your opponent's trying to fake out to prevent one of the pledges from going off, you can go for Upper Hand just to get a little bit of extra damage, and then Fire Pledge again to have some setup. Next, we have the Rillaboom, pretty standard Pokemon. Just this one doesn't have high horsepower or U-turn. It just runs Grass Pledge as the final attack and just uses all the grass moves that it can under that grassy terrain. And also the Terra Electric, which is an interesting Terra choice, but it is a defensive typing that only has one weakness, which is ground type attacks. And guess what? Rillaboom is really good into ground type Pokemon in general. Next, we have the Empoleon, and the competitive Empoleon pairs well with the Blaziken nicely, especially with that competitive, because if they try to lead like an Incineroar for Intimidate, you will get a +2 special attack on Empoleon. and it will be able to do massive damage, especially when you combine the fact that Blaziken gained a speed boost and able to go for that fast fire pledge, and then the Empoleon can go for the water pledge. It can really hurt from a +2 160 base power attack from Empoleon's special attack stats. So that can be a very powerful option. Yawn to set up for things like Trick Room and slow down your opponent's option. Ice Beam is actually interesting. No Flash Cannon on this team, but it's nice for Pokemon, especially like Dragonite, Amoonguss, and more. So very welcome change. And the Terra Grass, of course, to play around the Amoonguss, as well as a good defensive typing into ground type attacks and electric type attacks. We have the Choice Band Dragapult, one of the fastest Pokemon in the format. This one running an Adamant Nature, just able to do a ton of damage, but this one a little bit unconventional, as we normally see the Terra Dragon with Outrage. This one is actually going to be the Terra Ghost with Terra Blast, who can just dish out really good offensive damage right off the bat, and is very helpful for Pokemon such as Golden Go, for instance, which the rest of the team doesn't like, because it only has really the best answer being the Blaziken, or you need Ursaluna in Trick Room to threaten in the first place. So having a way to immediately threaten the Golden Go is very welcomed. Finally, we have the Ursaluna. This Pokemon is able to do a lot of damage with its Gust boosted attacks. It's not the fastest Pokemon out there, but that's okay on this team, because you do have the Trick Room from the Porygon 2, and you do have the Swamp that you can set up with the Rillaboom and the Empoleon, allowing the Ursaluna to move first and get some really strong damage with those Guts boosted facades or the Headlong Rush. It does have Helping Hand on this team, which is actually an interesting tech, but it does help out with the Dragapult, allowing it for more damage, as well as the Blaziken, because with that speed boost, it does hit pretty hard, and that Helping Hand can get a surprise knockout, which would be very helpful, as well as boosted Grassy Glides and Wood Hammers from the Rillaboom. Finally, the last Pokemon going to be the Download Porygon 2. This one just going to be a Terra Fighting set like we commonly see. Very nice in the King Gambit as a secondary backup answer. Good into our Caledon as well. Terrifying Terra Blast just hurts really hard into those Pokemon. Ice Beam, again, really good coverage against the Amoonguss and Dragonite. Recover, of course, and Trick Room. Pretty standard Porygon 2 otherwise. Overall, team is about setting up a pledge if you can. Usually it's going to probably be the Swamp or the Sea of Fire for that chip damage, or for that Swamp, which can be very nice for setting up the Ursaluna, or you don't even have to go for it. In some cases you don't have to. You could just set up Trick Room normally like Porygon 2. This team does have the option to go for pledges, but you don't need them to win the game, because the mods are just generally pretty solid and can do a lot of damage. We're going to be trying out this team and seeing how well it can perform. Ursaluna, Incineroar, King Gambit, Porygon 2. There is a Palmot and Amoonguss. Palmot's really the outlier here, but okay. Empoleon's pretty decent here. Empoleon does put in some work, as well as the Blaziken. Rillaboom isn't terrible here. My own Ursaluna actually can go crazy as well. I think I want to go with the Swamp mode. I also don't mind leading the Blaziken and Empoleon. I think it's pretty good, because if they want to go for the Intimidate, I do have the competitive Empoleon on deck. Do I want to bring my own Porygon? Porygon's good against their team, but Ursaluna is as well. I think I'm going to bring Ursaluna and Rillaboom. Because the problem with Porygon is I'd have to commit to Terra, and I don't know if I will be able to afford the Terra, because I might need the Terra Grass on the Empoleon. So I think it's probably better just to have it on the Ursaluna. The thing is, I can see multiple ways of playing this game, whether it's through Terra Fighting Porygon 2 setup or through Ursaluna. I like the Ursaluna more because I like the damage output better. But let's see. I definitely could have seen myself playing better with the Porygon as a safer option, but we're going to see the combination of Incineroar and King Gambit. Oh my goodness, that is incredible for me as I lead in Empoleon plus the Blaziken. Do you want to click Fake Out, Incineroar? Do you want to click Fake Out? I have something for you, pal. I have something for you. An upper hand. Catch these hands, and we'll go for a Water Pledge, I guess, into the... I want to target. I think I'm going to target the King Gambit. All right. Pretty good turn. I'm going for the Water Pledge into King Gambit because I need to damage into King Gambit if it Terra Darks to put in range of close combat for my Blaziken to upcoming turns. So yeah, if they go for Terra Dark, Kowtow, Cleave, Empoleon takes quite a bit of damage, but I do fire back a pretty good attack in response. All right, yep, they do go for the Fake Out. They didn't Terra, so I think they went for the target Fake Out into Blaziken originally. Water Pledge going to come out into the Kingambit. Good amount of damage. They low kick. Ooh. Okay. So they have low kick. Interesting. I think that's fine though. Yeah, that should be fine. I do get the speed boost. I can go out in a Rillaboom. Yeah, I mean, I do have double fighting options on deck with close combat. I think this is a Solvest Gambit, so they probably are forced to... You know what? I could also close combat the Incineroar. This is like max attack Blaziken. I think I do get the knockout, and then I could yawn the Blaziken or the Kingambit if it Terras or Sucker Punches. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I decided to go for this play, because I am able to get a close combat off into the Incineroar. Doesn't pick up the knockout. I thought that would. I'm a bit ashamed, Blaziken. Oh, but they knocked off instead. Okay. And I get a yawn off into the Kingambit. Okay, that works. Sure. I'll take it. Huh. Not at all what I anticipated, but sure. I need my health back on it, Empoleon. So I'm gonna go for Protect with Empoleon, and I'm gonna go out into Rillaboom. I don't think they're gonna go. I don't know if they Sucker Punch though. I could Upper Hand here, but I am worried that Incineroar picks up the knock on Empoleon with a Flare Blitz. So I'd rather get the health back. If the Kingambit stays in, it's gonna go to sleep. And then I could set up a Pledge situation for the Swamp, or I could get in my Ursaluna. And Ursaluna could throw a lot of damage out in the upcoming turns. So let's see the speed interaction too to guarantee it. Empoleon protects here. What is going to come out? They suckered again. Okay. They're really refusing to Terra, so I'm assuming they're trying to save their Terra for something. They do knock off my Empoleon. Yep. Okay. Nice. So the Kingambit's going to be asleep. I don't know if I really want to set up a Pledge situation here, but I don't see a problem with just going for a Wood Hammer into Incineroar, which I should outspeed Incineroar, get the KO into the Incineroar Wood Hammer. And if they try to switch, they get really heavily punished. Kingambit takes its first turn of sleep. I could set up Pledge here, which is debatable. I guess if it's Palmot, I'd like it, right? But then again, if it's Palmot, then I still am okay, and I can also Terra Grass if I really, really need to. I think I just Wood Hammer the Incineroar, and I think I just go for Water Pledge. I also double the Incineroar in case they swap. Yeah, exactly. Like in the Porygon, they're taking too much damage, I think. And this is what I want to punish. I want to punish if they try... Oh, a Moongus. Didn't realize they had a Moongus, but that's fine. I still get a good amount of damage to the Amoonguss with Wood Hammer plus Water Pledge, and then Ice Beam will also affect it. It's Rocky Helmet, so it should be physically defensive. Yeah, Water Pledge does actually a good amount of damage. Ice Beam will definitely get it. Alright, so I'm kind of curious on what their last Pokemon is. It probably is the Palmot then. If it's Palmot, I probably want to set up for it. I think I'm going to go out into Blaziken then, and I'm just going to click Ice Beam into the Amoonguss slot. Because I don't know if they know that the Empoleon has Ice Beam, but Ice Beam will get rid of Amoonguss. Low Kick, I have no idea. I think it's super close. I think I might be able to live one more Low Kick. I at least outspeed the Kingambit, so that's really good here. They could double back in Incineroar, but then they lose Incineroar, so that's okay. Are they going to Terra the Amoonguss now? They could go for Terra Water Spore, I guess. Which I guess would be pretty reasonable, but then again, I do have a Rillaboom, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I do get a free Ice Beam off into the Amoonguss and pick up the knockout, so that's a nice Amoonguss knockout. Great. And Kingambit stays asleep. Excellent. Terra-wise, it's looking like Empoleon. I don't really see a reason why I wouldn't Terra to Empoleon, especially if it's Palmot in the back. Okay, looking really nice so far. Looking really nice. Let's see if it's Palmot. If it's Palmot, I'm going to double up with the... I think I go for the Pledge because... Actually, no, I wouldn't go for the Pledge here. Incineroar coming out is surprising. Okay. Why'd you go Incineroar here? I get +4 with Empoleon. I guess they're expecting me to upper hand again? I think I just always Fire Pledge KO the Incineroar, which I think does KO. I'm pretty sure it does in this situation. And I Water Pledged actually, I just double... Actually, I probably should just double protect. Double protect has no drawbacks here. Yeah, double protect delay has no drawbacks. Because I don't have to play the upper hand, mind game, and do they fake out, or do they Flare Blitz, knock off here, the Empoleon? They go for the knockoff into Empoleon, yeah. So I could have went for Fire Pledge, Water Pledge, but that's fine. Also, they just refuse. They literally are just refusing to ever decide to go for a Terra with their King Gambit. I'm really shocked because if it's Terra Flying, I thought like Terra Flying made a bunch of sense a while ago. I guess a good question is, what is your Incineroar here? Because it should be Fizz Def based on the surviving the close combat from earlier. Does Fire Pledge pick up the knockout into the Incineroar after that grassy terrain healing? I want to say yes. So I'm going to go for Fire Pledge. Actually, if I Fire Pledge, I can't Water Pledge the Gambits. I actually have to close combat. But the thing is... Oh, that actually makes this weird. I don't think they Terra Ghost here. The thing is, if I Fire Pledge the Incineroar, then it becomes a combined attack. That's like the weird part of having only pledges as your offense. I might want to close combat Water Pledge, because I think it's really likely that they Terra Ghost the Incineroar in this turn. And it looks like I'm right. If they Terra Ghosted the Incineroar, that could have actually been something. Also, they just refuse to Terra this Gambit. What the heck? It's a Solvest. I feel like even Terra Dark would help it here, but all right. Water Pledge gonna come out. It's +4. I get the knockout in a King Gambit, and then I'm pretty sure whatever's coming in, if it's Palmot, I'm going for the Terra Grass Empoleon and going to go for Pledge attacks, because why not? Just go for that Pledge attack. Grassy terrain disappears. Is it Porygon? Is it Ursaluna in the back? Like, what is the thing you've been saving your Terra for this entire time? I'm curious because you refuse to Terra this entire game. It is Porygon. Okay. So I'm going to give my Empoleon a +4 Water Pledge option into the Porygon. We're not going to see it, but we do pick up the win. I'm just like, sure, we revealed the power of Empoleon. Why did they refuse to Terra? Was it like they were trying to Terra to Porygon this entire time? Because, I don't know. Leave your King Gambit in against a Blaziken is just a madman. Like, literally no fear. It didn't work out for my opponent. It's not like I attacked into the King Gambit, though. So, like, they were getting me there, but... Yeah, I don't know. Dragonite, Blaziken, King Gambit, Golden Go, Annihilate, and Garchomp. Alright, this should be coaching stuff, and it looks really scary, actually. A really terrifying team. I think this is probably a combination for Dragapult plus Blaziken, because I think Dragapult Blaziken actually does wonders against this team. Yeah, I like it a lot. I do like it a lot against this team, and then I do want Empoleon probably because it's actually I mean, having triple fighting week is going to be weird here, but I think it's probably okay. If I get Chip into Blaziken, I can put in range of like Grassy Glide from Rillaboom. I want to bring Rillaboom as well because I like the idea of an actual ground resist to the Garchomp, which I think is actually pretty big. Porygon can't really hit the Golden Go as well as the Annihilate, which is what's making it awkward here. Ursaluna is okay, but it's not incredible. There are some pledge strats I can go for, but I'm not exactly too sure if I'm going to be able to pull any of them off. Because it's a lot about, I think, in this game, upper handing the King Gambit, preventing it from going for Sucker Punch, and going for Dragon Darts for pressure. So let's see what they decide to go for. If they lead the King Gambit, that's fine. I go for the upper hand. If they are going to lead Blaziken Annihilate, this is going to be such an interesting turn one. This is such an interesting turn one. Okay. I'm clicking Dragon Darts. Did I expect this to be Scarf Annihilate? It should be like what? Sash? It should be... I can't even tell. I could also Terra Ghost if I really want to, but I don't think I want to use my Terra here. I think I'm going to Dragon Darts, and I think... because if I lose Blaziken on the spot, it's actually pretty bad. But you know what? I'm going to go for attacks. I'm going to Dragon Darts and go for the Fire Pledge into the Annihilate. Because it's like, okay, I don't know if you're Scarf or not. All right. Wow, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Oh, wait. Okay, no. That makes sense, actually. I was like, wait, is that Scarf Ape that's slower than Dragapult? But no, it's just a natural speed order. Okay. They go for coaching, which is fine here. Okay. This works out pretty well in my favor, actually. Yeah, this works out pretty well in my favor because I should be able to get in Rillaboom afterward. Yeah, because Fire Pledge is gonna... Okay, it's lefties. I was about to say. Don't be anything too crazy. I think Rillaboom can come in. I'm pretty sure I can Grassy Glide into close combat the Annihilate. I'm bringing the Rillaboom because I also... I mean, I think it's fine. I'm just worried about, like, what kind of Blaziken set this is. Whether it's Flare Blitz or not. I'm just going to Grassy Glide the Annihilate and I'm going to close combat the Blaziken. Let's see. I expect double protect here, but then we get to play an interesting mind game the next turn where I can Fire Pledge and go for a bunch of combinations. We see a protect from Annihilate, but not the Blaziken. So this means that there's probably a speed tie between our Blazikens. Let's see who gets the attack off here. Oh, they went for coaching again, which is surprising. Okay. I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind that because I get to close combat into Blaziken, pick up the knockout. It's kind of unfortunate they got the second coaching, but that works for me. Because I'm pretty sure Fire Pledge and a Grass Pledge will still pick up the knockout into Annihilate. Or Grassy Glide into Fire Pledge should get the knockout even after this recovery from the leftovers. As long as it's not Terra Fire. If it's Terra Fire, that's where the game gets awkward. But yeah, that Annihilate is what? +2 attack? Gotta respect it. And defense. Dragonite comes in. It's probably skill shot, but there's not really much I can do. I'm just gonna Grassy Glide the Annihilate, and I'm gonna Fire Pledge the Annihilate as well, because I do need that knockout. We haven't seen a Terra. I don't know what the Terra is gonna be. This endgame is gonna be pretty tricky. It's definitely winnable though. Like it's not like we're in an awful position, but we're probably trading knockouts. I imagine Scale Shot's going to go into my Blaziken, pick up the knockout, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to get the knockout into Annihilate. Assuming this isn't Terra Fire. Terra Fire is probably the only one that screws me over too. Because otherwise Grassy Glide or Fire Pledge will hit it hard enough. Okay, yeah, perfect. Grassy Glide into Fire Pledge, picks up the knockout. Beautiful. Alright, we're probably going to be in a 2v2 situation. I don't know if this is the best effective use of the 2v2 situation. Oh, wait. Wait, they Scale Shot my Rillaboom? Not my Blaziken? Okay. I guess I expect to protect. King Gambit coming in. Oh. That's really nice, actually. That's really nice. Okay, I'm going to Grassy Glide the Blaziken or the Dragonite slot. And I guess I'm going to protect the Blaziken to scout for the King Gambit. I don't know if it's Terra or not, so I gotta figure that out. I think the big question is, can I win the end game with Empoleon next to Blaziken? That's gonna be a good one. All right, we see a Terra on the King Gambit. What Terra are you? Fairy Terra. I don't have Flash Cannon Empoleon, but this works out, I guess, okay. Detect the Blaziken. I think I would want to see fire, right? I think the Sea of Fire is going to be coming out because I need the chip damage. They Scale Shot my Blaziken. Yep. And King Gambit gonna go for Kowtow into Rillaboom. All right, it looks like I live a Nutter after the Grassy Terrain healing, which is actually really nice. There is no Terra I really want to go for here, so I'm just gonna go for a... I could Woodhammer too, but I think I'm just gonna... Unless they Extreme Speed Sucker Punch, but I don't think they're gonna risk that when I can go for Glide. So I'm gonna Fire Pledge and S-Pledge the King Gambit for the Sea of Fire. Let's see. How much damage are we going to do with that Sea of Fire? Not that much, but stacking it up is going to be pretty important for the rest of the game. We have that Sea of Fire active. All right. Scale Shot going to come out in the Dragonite, which is going to hurt a decent amount. That is going to hurt a decent amount. But the fact is, Blaziken did his job. Got the Sea of Fire, so we'll be able to chip away that Dragonite and the King Gambit, which is super important. And if I didn't KO the Dragonite already with Ice Beam, I will 100% afterward. Kowtow again. I am able to hang on, which is super clutch. Okay, it's close. It's close. The fire is burning on their side. I go out into Empoleon and I'm clicking Ice Beam into the Dragonite and I'm going to go for Grassy Glide. Unfortunately, I don't think I can Terra Empoleon. I think they're probably just going to Extreme Speed the Rillaboom, but I don't think I can really risk it and go for the Terra Grass to cover for a low kick on Empoleon, unfortunately. So I will go for the Ice Beam. They do go for the Extreme Speed into Rillaboom, which makes sense. I am going to be able to get a Ice Beam off into the Dragonite. I don't know. Can Empoleon clutch out this end game? We'll find out. Goodbye, Dragonite. All right, beautiful. Let's see. Okay, they Kowtow, which is actually super ideal. That does so much damage. I don't think this is Sword Stance, though, on the King Gambit. I'm pretty sure it's a Assault Vest by the damage we did earlier, but also like the way they've been playing. Okay. So we're going to stall out to get these recovered with the leftovers in the Grassy Terrain. I don't know if we're being the Gambit in the end game. Oh, the Grassy Terrain wears off at one of the worst moments there. But yeah, we do protect. I mean, that does prevent the King Gambit from getting recovery, but Kowtow is going to be super close numbers-wise. Yep, they go for Kowtow. All right, Empoleon, I need you to clutch out. I need you to clutch out. I think it's going to come down to sleep turns on the Gambit. Luckily, the Sea of Fire is still adding up. That chip damage is actually super important. Yawn, the King Gambit. If I had flash, well, if I had Flash Cannon, like sure, this position's easier, but it wasn't easier for my earlier spot of the Dragonite. So let's see. That fire, I think two Water Pledges might get it. What's also nice is we're probably in Torrent Rain. Oh wait, no, we're not Torrent. We're competitive, right? I was like Hopium, but yeah, we protect Empoleon. It's just gonna come down to some sleep turns. They Sucker Punch, which makes sense. All right, sleep turn time. I mean, two Water Pledges do get the knockout into the King Gambit, I think. I'm like pretty sure. Do we want to gamble on my luck is the question. So I have two options. If I think the King Gambit's going to wake up, I go for Yawn here. If I don't, I click... Actually, no, I think I should click Yawn because the leftovers recovery with another Protect might allow me to guarantee to win anyway. Because I think I'd live Sucker Punch. Actually, no, I think Yawn is the play here. Okay, they say sleep. Fantastic. Gonna go for Yawn. And then I think I protect Empoleon because I'm pretty sure after another Protect, I think I live Sucker Punch guaranteed. So I will click Protect with Empoleon. Because I'm pretty sure I'll live Sucker. after one more leftovers recovery. Did you wake up? Sucker? Oh, they count out this time. Okay. But I'm pretty sure I live Sucker. Although I could yawn here if I want to read them going for Sucker, because I think they might go for the last ditch Sucker, but I'm pretty sure you have to crit. So I'm going to go for Water Pledge. I'm pretty sure I'll live Sucker Punch. And if they don't, I just guarantee the win with Water Pledge. Ooh, okay. Empoleon standing the ground. Standing the ground. Oh my goodness. It's actually so clutch with the Sea of Fire too, because I actually needed all that chip damage into the Kingambit, because if I didn't get that chip damage, I actually was not getting that final knockout, because that Water Pledge was actually super close. Ooh, all right. So able to power through. We were able to trade knockouts. We got into a decently favorable spot. And with that Sea of Fire adding up, the yawn in the end game with the Empoleon into the Water Pledges, getting enough health back with the leftovers and grassy terrain recovery, we were able to come through. Golden Go, Whimsicott, Dragonite, Rillaboom, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and Incineroar. Alright, so they have a bunch of threats. Blaziken's really good against their team though. Like their entire team is really weak to Blaziken in general. So I do love Blaziken. I think Blaziken plus Rillaboom's really good. It should be Scale Shot Dragonite. If it's Assault Vest, it makes it difficult. Or if it's like a Choice Band. If it's Terra Flying in general, it's probably more trickier than I would hope. But I do really like the combination of Blaziken plus Rillaboom as the lead, because I like the idea of breaking the multi-scale on Dragonite early if it is multi-scale. As then it sets up for Empoleon really nicely, which I am bringing Empoleon, and I think I'll bring the Porygon. I think Ursaluna is okay, but it's not incredible. Ursaluna is okay here, but it really requires specific setup, and I don't know if I'm able to set up Trick Room really against this team, or like the Grass or the Swamp Pledge effectively. Dragapult. Dragonite is okay. Switching in is awkward because Ursaluna with the Mind's Eye, Make It Rain, and Knockoff from Incineroar are very hard to switch into. The only benefit of Dragapult is A, it's fast. So fast Terra Blast is an option. But B, also, like, it does give me another switch into the huge threat of the Rillaboom. Because I am a little bit scared of Rillaboom because my Grass Resists are leading and they're probably taking damage right away. So that's the only thing I'm a little bit scared of, but I should be okay, I think, for the most part. Gonna be the lead of Rillaboom Golden Go. All right. Versus Rillaboom and Incineroar. Let's see whose grassy terrain will set up. Looks like mine's gonna set up first, which is actually really ideal. Yeah, mine's is faster. So I can just go for a Fire Pledge into the Golden Go immediately and click Fake Out into Rillaboom. So that's a nice start. If they go for Terra, that's acceptable. I don't know what Terra you are, but I don't think you're going to be Terra Dragon on this team. You don't have too much support here. Unless our Rillaboom speed tie, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Rillaboom going to retreat. Is this Whimsicott coming in? This is Incineroar. Okay. Oh, so they could protect. Yeah, smart. Okay. That was smart of them. I don't hate this though. I also oh wait, no, they didn't have Incineroar Rillaboom, so this could be Terra Dragon. I think it's probably Terra Steel, but this is acceptable. They're gonna fake out the Blaziken and set up a nasty plot. I don't really have much to counteract here. I have a few options. I could go do I want to set up the Swamp? I could set up the Swamp in this position probably. I kind of like that. Or I could just protect Blaziken and go an Empoleon. Which also works and is probably the safer play, so I think I'd rather go for it. Like, I'll take the safer play if I can. I also could double up the Incineroar the next turn. There's a lot of things I could go for. So we protect our Blaziken. Fake Out gonna come out into my Blaziken. Yep, and this should be the nasty plot. Yep. Now the question is, are you going to go in a Rillaboom on the Incineroar slot, or are you going to go for something else? I like the idea of going for the Pledge actually here. Like the Pledge into the Incineroar is actually a pretty okay spot. Because if they decide to go aggressive with the Incineroar and Parting Shot my Blaziken, I should pick up the knockout. Yeah, like this, like if they protect here. Because I get a boosted power in the Water Pledge because of the Blaziken fusing it. And it's going to base on Empoleon special attack stat. So we do have the Pledge active, which is actually really nice. So a lot of damage into the Incineroar. Picks up the knockout. Beautiful. And we have the Rainbow. We have the Rainbow. I can... I don't know if that's going to matter too much, but hey, we have the Rainbow. So I have a 20% chance to get an Ice Beam Freeze. We're going to see a Rillaboom come in. I could Upper Hand here, but I don't think there's a point of going for the Upper Hand. I think I'd rather just go for a Water Pledge into Golden Go, because if it's Terra Steel, I want the damage with Fire Pledge. So Fire Pledge guarantees the knockout. They fake out Empoleon, which is super smart. Did they Shadow Ball as well, or did they make it rain? They Nasty Plot, which is fine too. Okay. So they Nasty Plot, super fine. I think I want a Fire Pledge and Ice Beam. I really wish I was Stellar Terra here on my Blaziken, but this should be all right. Yeah, I think this is okay. I'm going to go for Fire Pledge and I'm going to go for Ice Beam. This also covers for Terra Dragon, covers for Terra Steel. If they protect Golden Go, it's not like Rillaboom can do much, because I still always threaten the Golden Go, unless it's high horsepower Rillaboom. That's the only way. Yeah, it's only if it's high horsepower Rillaboom, because then they could Grassy Glide follow up, which would actually be awkward. But let's see if that is going to be the case. I do get the Fire Pledge off in the Golden Go. Ooh, that's less damage than I was hoping for. They Shadow Ball my Empoleon, which is interesting. Let's pick up the knockout, but Empoleon did the job earlier, so that's okay. A U-turn. Interesting. I get to see who they bring out, and what's nice is Grassy Terrain will get me my... Okay. Curious on what my opponent's vision is here. That is... Ursaluna Blood Moon. Okay. Okay. Grassy Terrain disappears. That's fine. I'm going out into my Rillaboom. And I think I see the vision. I think they're going to probably swap out the Blood Moon, go out into Rillaboom to get Grassy Terrain and probably protect the gold, because the gold is threatened by Fire Pledge knocking it out. Unless it doesn't, which I think it does look based on the numbers. So I'm going to actually go for the Pledge, because the reason I'm going to go for the Pledge is the Sea of Fire activates and puts the Golden Go into the Fire Pledge range again. So I do expect, yep, the swap here. This should be in the Rillaboom. I get the Sea of Fire, so we have double Pledge active on the field, and we get to chip the Golden Go to always put it in range. Oh, they have Terra. They definitely have... Oh, what Terra are you? Terra Dragon. Oh, I didn't have much for Terra Dragon. Man. I don't think I could do much though, because Blaziken was -1, right? So I couldn't close combat. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Terra Steel Gold. I thought they were just trying to play like Terra Steel Gold this entire time. Also, that Pledge actually did do a lot to the Rillaboom. That Pledge did do a lot. Make It Rain going to come out. My Rillaboom hangs on, but I don't think I can 1v3 this endgame with Porygon plus Rillaboom. Unfortunately, Sea of Fire gonna consume some HP from my opponent, but I just don't think it's gonna be enough at the end of the day. I can't 1v3 with Porygon 2. They're Terra Dragon too. So I guess like what was the... I guess like the Fire Pledge being weaker than I thought into the Golden Go was pretty bad. I guess that kind of makes sense. This Blaziken has no special attack investment. Rainbow disappears. Unless I was getting an Ice Beam Freeze, and I don't think I need an Ice Beam Freeze at this point. Rillaboom comes in. We're gonna go for Ice Beam into gold. We're gonna go for the Wood Hammer crit, I guess, if we're faster than the gold somehow. But they go for Make It Rain, Wood Hammer. Yeah, it does so much damage at Porygon too. Oh, I think we had a good start. Like, getting rid of that Incineroar was super sweet, but they did get me on that one turn. Like, they ended up playing really aggressive with the fake out into another nasty plot. And if I played aggressive myself, I probably could have counteracted that. Maybe I should have just went for the targets into the gold slot afterward. Because the protect on Blaziken is super scripted always, but yeah, I think I just have to play aggressive against the Golden Ghost setup, especially with it being Terra Dragon. I was playing it like I was hoping it was just going to be Terra Steel the entire time, because Terra Steel is a lot easier to handle. And that's why I exactly made that Sea of Fire call, because I was trying to put the gold into range of Fire Pledge. Guaranteed. But yeah, the problem was the gold was Terra Dragon, not Terra Steel. All right, we have Annihilate Whimsicott, the Blood Moon Ursaluna, Grimmsnarl with Magmar and Arcalon. Oh, this is scary. Beat up stuff is not exactly ideal. I mean, we do have tools against this team though. Screens though, not really happy about that. I do want to probably set up my Ursaluna in this game. And I probably don't want to bring Porygon. Yeah, I think that's probably how it goes. I think I'm going to bring Blaziken and Rillaboom as the starter here. I think Blaziken and Rillaboom's okay. Have my Empoleon in the back with Ursaluna. I need pledges here, and I need to outpower the Annihilate. This is going to be a really tough one because bulk up Annihilate with this kind of setup with screens and a Redirectamon is going to be really difficult. They also have the Tailwind mode, which is also like a thing I wouldn't have to really fear on in normal cases, but this makes it really difficult. Whimsicott Ursaluna. Wait, this makes it a lot easier. Okay. As I lead Blaziken plus Rillaboom. You're either A, Terra Ghost on the Ursaluna, or B, you protect the Ursaluna, right? So I'm gonna go for the pledge attack into the Whimsicott because I do get a Whimsicott early in the game, so I will go for the attack. They do retreat to Ursaluna. This might be Annihilate and them going for the beat up, which also works because I should get rid of the Whimsicott or Arcalon coming in. Interesting. Are they going for the beat up? They go for the Terra Whimsicott. Terra Water? Terra Ghost. That makes sense. Okay. I mean, I'm not KOing the Whimsicott, unfortunately, but this is still not a bad situation. They do get a beat up, though, on the Arcalon, which is going to make things rough, though. His body press is definitely... Actually, how am I being the Arcalon now? How am I being the Arcalon? It has to be through the pledge of Empoleon, probably. Yeah, it has to be through the pledge of Empoleon. Oh, boy. Well, on the bright side, Arcalon is only +4. It's not like +6. So we get the pledges off, and we'll also be chipping the Arcalon, which is nice, because we have the pledge that's going to activate the Sea of Fire into the Whimsicott. Yeah, some pretty solid damage. Now I can Grassy Glide the Whimsicott, and I guess I just keep throwing out fire pledges into Arcalon because I need the chip damage into Arcalon. Okay. So, I mean, it's not awful. It's not great, though. I'll say that much. I have no idea who you're targeting here. But I am going to just fire pledge to Arcalon because I do need to build up the chip damage. It's not like an extra... I don't think +5 changes anything, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll fire pledge and we'll go for a Grassy Glide into Whimsicott. They go for the Tailwind, which makes sense. Not really much I can do, and I don't want Whimsicott having another opportunity to set up later. Grassy Glide going to come out. I wonder if I should have protected the Blaziken, but I feel like it's more important to protect the next turn when there are 2 attackers on the field. Because if I protect this turn, I could get doubled up the next turn, and I don't think that's ideal. They body press the Blaziken. I do have Focus Sash. All right. Fire Pledge for, you know, some chip. Some chip. All right. Like, the Arcalon is taking quite a bit of damage, which is nice. The problem is, how am I beating the Arcalon? I don't know how I'm beating Arcalon. Grimmsnarl coming in. Interesting. do have Terra Ghost Ursaluna. I don't know if that's going to help me too much here. I'm just going to protect Blaziken. I'm going to go for the Woodhammer into the Grimmsnarl for the damage. They're probably just going to set up a Reflect, and that means it's even harder for me to KO the Archaludon later. Oh, they Light Screen, which is actually ideal because I get a really powerful Woodhammer off, and I don't think Archaludon knocks me out with +5 Body Press in the Rillaboom. I should have Fire Pledged. I maybe should have Fire Pledged to Grimmsnarl though, because that was a smart option of going for. Yeah, I should have Fire Pledged, but this actually works out in my favor. Okay. We are chipping them. We are chipping them. I still don't know if this is gonna be enough, man. I don't know if this is gonna be enough. They do get Reflect up now. Do I have the second Empoleon? The second Empoleon might be the play here, but it also depends on their attack of... Yeah, I might have to second Empoleon. Do I? Empoleon's just not faster than Blood Moon or the... I either go for a double attack or I sack here. I could also Fire Pledge attempt, but there's not really a point. I think I go and I think I second Empoleon and I Grassy Glide. The Grimmsnarl. Because this gives me an opportunity to set up with maybe my Ursaluna. This is so tough. Yeah, they get Reflect up, so now both screens are on deck. I do get the KO into Grimmsnarl, which is nice. They should be body pressing the Empoleon. Yeah. I think this is where I should have brought... I mean, crit doesn't matter, I think. I should have brought the Porygon, because Terra fighting Terra Blast actually won me this endgame. I think this is just a mistake of going for the Ursaluna. I didn't think they were going to go... I didn't think they were going to go for a beat-up Archaludon game. I thought it was going to be Annihilate, but this ended up working out really well for my opponent. See, a fire disappears, so that means they're going to get even more, which is not good. I gotta go. I don't know. It's just tough. It's just tough. I'm going Blaziken to get an extra turn of Grassy Terrain Healing in case that actually comes into play against Vacuum Wave Ursaluna. But yeah, I am just going to go for Grassy Glide into the Ursaluna and protect my Blaziken on this last turn of Trick Room. Okay, Ursaluna reveals Protect. So, are you Vacuum Wave Ursaluna? I guess we'll find out. As we Grassy Glide the Ursaluna. Body Press into Rillaboom? No, they targeted the Blaziken, which actually kind of makes this weird. Yeah, this makes this weird. Yeah, because Grassy Terrain disappears. I guess it depends on how fast their Ursaluna is, because if my Rillaboom outspeeds the Ursaluna, which it should always, I do get a close combat and a Woodhammer. The question is, does the Archaludon target the Rillaboom or does it target the Blaziken? I guess we'll find out, because it's either this or crit. Good damage to Ursaluna. I really am hoping for body pressing the Blaziken. Oh, I'm faster than Archaludon. That's actually really big info. Okay. Ursaluna goes down. Sure. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's actually kind of huge. That's actually huge. I did not think the Archaludon would be that slow, but I guess it's more on bulk than anything. I do get Ursaluna in. I do have Terra Ghost. We double protect here because it's not like... Unless Archaludon wants to go for Electro Shot, but then it's locked into Electro Shot, which I don't even know if this Archaludon will carry. But we do go for double protect to activate the Flame Orb. Okay. And this is going to be Body Press into Ursaluna or Blaziken? It is Blaziken. Okay. Is it smarter to go for Headlong Rush, or is it smarter to go for Fire Pledge and Helping Hand? I think I always just Fire Pledge. I think it's just smarter to go for Headlong Rush at this point. This Fire Pledge was not doing any damage. It probably is Assault Vest on the Ursaluna. Or not Ursaluna, or Caledon. So we have Terra Ghost. Super clutch here. It can only target one mon at a time unless they have Snarl, and Snarl's not knocking out the Blaziken. At least I don't think so after the close combat defense drops. Here comes a Fire Pledge. How much damage? Oh, they body press to Ursaluna, which means I get a Headlong Rush into the Caledon. Oh, I do enough anyway. I'm like pretty sure I do enough anyway. But that's so clutch. Oh my goodness. A lot of wrong targeting from my opponent, and the set's working out incredible for us. The fact that Rillaboom outspent our Caledon was so clutch. Fire Pledge, Headlong Rush. And I always go for these attacks because I'm pretty sure, like, even if we don't pick up the knockout, there's no way they can knock out both. They go for Draco Meteor. They target Ursaluna. Even if they got the knockout, like, another Fire Pledge was picking up the knockout. So, oh man, I was beating myself up for not bringing the Porygon, but I was still able to come in clutch. The ability to just... I don't even know what to say, man. I mean, I got a really good turn. Oh, was it a great turn one? They got the +4 activation on our Caledon immediately, but I did get the Pledge Up combo into Whimsicott and was able to chip away at the Arcaludon, which was actually nice for the later parts of the game because I did need that chip damage eventually. The fact that even they got screens up in the middle of the game made it weird, but that one turn where I got the double up into Ursaluna Blood Moon was just insane. It was just insane. I cannot believe that I actually outspent Arcaludon. I guess it just had like no speed investment. Incineroar, Rillaboom, Vaporeon, Sneasler, Golden Go, Dragonite. All right, there's a Vaporeon on my screen. I do like the terrain stuff. Empoleon's pretty good. Empoleon's actually really good in this matchup. Sneasler's the only Pokemon I'm actually like quite concerned about. So what would I want to bring? Golden Go's also a little bit annoying. I probably don't want Porygon. I think Porygon isn't that great in this matchup. I think it's probably the combination. I like the idea of Blaziken Rillaboom lead. Kind of puts on a lot of pressure against everything. And I like the idea of setting up the Sea of Fire to break like the multi-skill and Dragonite, which team can struggle a little bit against. I could also lead Dragapult. Dragapult's not a bad lead. But I could catch their Golden Go by surprise. But also like Blaziken probably does the same thing. Dragapult in the back and Empoleon. I like the Sea of Fire. I think the Sea of Fire is really solid in this matchup. I do have options to all the pledge moves on this team as well, which can come very much in handy. Like the problem with Dragon or Dragapult lead is it's not like I don't know what the Terra is on the Dragonite, and I don't think I want to risk that immediately. So I like the idea of just setting up the Sea of Fire if I can. We're going to see the lead of Golden Go and Vaporeon. So this is probably one of the most ideal leads I could have asked for because I do have Fake Out Pressure, but I also have the Sea of Fire, which I can stack here. So I think Vaporeon would probably switch out and Golden Go probably protects. I don't know. I mean, the position is just weird, but I am just going to go for my pledge attacks here. Because there's no point of really going for the Fake Out. I like the idea of setting up the pledge against the Vaporeon. We're going to see the Golden Go actually retreat instead of the Vaporeon, which is fine. Dragonite? Is that Dragonite? No, Incineroar. Okay, that's fine. Don't mind the Incineroar coming in because I will be able to get chip into Vaporeon. If it Terras especially, which is nice. Okay, Terra Poison would probably make the most sense to me here if the Vaporeon is going for the Terra. And it looks like it is going to be Terra Electric Vaporeon. Okay. I mean, it makes sense. The Rillaboom came in, but that means Golden Go can't Terra anymore, which is very nice, by the way. So I do get the pledges off, and that will chip away the Vaporeon throughout the battle. I'm worried if this is Terra Blast because I do want to bring in my my big threat of Empoleon later on to pressure the Incineroar, but we'll see. Sea of Fire is active, so they will constantly take chip. Calm Mind coming out from the Vaporeon. All right. This is going to be weird. Very weird. All right. I got to set up for Terra Blast endgame, I think, with Dragapult. So that means I probably want Empoleon in. I really hope that this Vaporeon is just ice move, water move. I will take a lot from Flare Blitz if they go for the immediate Flare Blitz, but it's okay. I am going to go for Detect with Blaziken, and I am going to swap out into my Empoleon. So let's see. I reset that Intimidate, which is nice. The Vaporeon is going to be on taking chip damage, which is great because it's not really getting recovery. And if they Parting Shot my Rillaboom for some reason, I'm in a really good spot. They go for Fake Out into what was my Rillaboom. Nice. Ice Beam as well, or Scald? Scald into Blaziken. Perfect. Close Combat Water Pledge should get the Incineroar even at -1, as long as it's not Citrus Berry. I don't know if I want to read a Golden Ghost switch or maybe a Dragonite switch, but I think I'm willing to risk just going for a Water Pledge into close combat because removing the Incineroar is so nice for my Rillaboom as well as my Dragapult later in the game. So I think that's what we're going to focus on. I could also yawn the Vaporeon as well, but even if we break like multi-scale on Dragonite or Golden Go comes in, it'll take a decent chunk. So because once we get rid of Golden Go, Dragon Dart's endgame is definitely something I could go for. So I think I'm just going to target the Incineroar close combat plus Water Pledge. And it looks like they give me the Incineroar potentially. Close combat does so much damage to that Incineroar. Fantastic. Scald going to come out in a Blaziken. Hang on with the Focus Sash. Very nice. And what's the Incineroar doing? Oh, it's faster than Empoleon, which is not ideal. Not ideal indeed. Okay, that made it a bit tougher. That made it a bit tougher. Maybe you should have anticipated that, but I mean, Golden Go comes in. I guess this is fine though. It's obviously not ideal. Actually do some pretty good damage to Golden Go. I mean, Sea of Fire is active. It's doing some pretty solid damage. I could get the Swamp if I want to activate, which could be a play. Just gotta watch out because this Vaporeon's actually starting to become scary. But I could go out. Actually, my play is probably just to go Dragapult now. Dragapult makes sense as long as this isn't Scarf Gold, which I don't think it's going to be. A Terra Blast picks up the knockout into the Golden Ghost slot. If Incineroar comes in, it's going down. And then I can just yawn the Vaporeon as it probably Ice Beams. And then it's going to be locked in to a weird position. So I think that's okay. Yeah, I like this a lot. And it looks like they're staying in. So getting rid of Golden Go is great because that's a Rillaboom answer out of the way. Eventually, they will bring out their Incineroar. And then I'll have a +2 on my Empoleon. So that's nice. I guess the question is, what's the last Pokemon? All right, they give me the Terra Blast. They probably weren't expecting Terra Ghost Terra Blast as well. If I do get the Terra Blast off, it is going to target down the Golden Go and pick up that knockout. Beautiful. And Scald going to be fired up. Oh, wait. They did Scald my Dragapult. They definitely read Terra Ghost then. Or they knew about it because he would... Unless they don't have Ice Beam, but I feel like you have Ice Beam. Okay. Sea of Fire still chipping away at the Vaporeon, keeping it at neutral pretty much from the leftovers in the grassy terrain recovery. Which is important because it does put it into range of Terra Ghost Terra Blast potentially. I think if Sneaser's the back, that's what I'm going to have to figure out. I do need damage into Sneaser really badly. Rillaboom's the final. Okay. Huh. Oh, that's not great. Although I don't think it's not that bad actually. Yeah, I think I just go Rillaboom then on this, and it's the last in the grassy terrain, so I will give them the... I did yawn the Vaporeon though, so maybe I should have played more aggressively. But they probably are just going to go to sleep with Vaporeon realistically, and then I could focus down on the Rillaboom. Yeah, they're giving me the opportunity to focus down on the Rillaboom, which is nice. They go for Grassy Glide. You have to cover for the Dragapult. This might be a Dull Up or a Calm Mind again. No, they Scald. All right. No burn is fantastic because I get to fake out Ice Beam the Rillaboom this upcoming turn, and that's really good because it covers for, it does knock out Incineroar if it switches in. Otherwise, we get a huge amount of damage into their Rillaboom. So that is very nice. Grassy Terrain disappears, so they have less power against the Empoleon. I will go for Fake Out, and we'll go for the Ice Beam. And if they want to switch in Incineroar, they give me the competitive boost, so I can knock them out in the following consequences. So very nice. Able to get a Fake Out off. Vaporeon takes his first turn. Ice Beam gonna come out into the Rillaboom. Really good damage. Okay. And now, I wonder if they switch into Incineroar now, because I could see them trying to go Incineroar, but I think my play is just to always Wood Hammer the Vaporeon and Ice Beam the Rillaboom slot, because I always get the KO on that slot. They do U-turn out. Okay, that makes sense. I think the endgame comes down to just if I... Endgame might come down to the sleep turn, actually. Because I do get the competitive boost, which means I do pick up the knockout into Incineroar with Ice Beam. Wood Hammer comes out. Vaporeon is going to take a decent chunk. Wait, it's scalded, but it does KO still. Should I have Grassy Glided? Was Grassy Glide to play there? Because now I'm... Oh, I don't... Wait. Me not KOing Incineroar might actually be better for me. Yes, me not KOing Incineroar is actually better for me, surprisingly. Okay. It's because I get to go into Dragapult. Wait, that's actually clutch that I didn't KO. And Empoleon, normally it'd be like, oh, you didn't get the KO even. But that meant a free switch to Incineroar, which is actually huge for me. Because I can go for Phantom Force with Terra Ghost into the Vaporeon slot, and I can Ice Beam the Incineroar. That's actually really big for me. They detected the Vaporeon, which makes sense. So now I get the Phantom Force off with the Dragapult. I really hope I can KO the Vaporeon with the Phantom Force. Ooh, good knockoff into the Empoleon, though. Ice Beam gonna come out into the Incineroar. Oh, this is super close of an end game. Does Phantom Force KO the Vaporeon with the Terra Ghost? And then the other question is, who does Rillaboom target? Because that's going to be a really important one. Oh, this is such a close end game. Jeez. So Vaporeon should... I think Vaporeon goes down to Phantom Force, so I think it just comes down to, do they Wood Hammer the Dragapult or do they Wood Hammer the Empoleon? I think they Wood Hammer the Empoleon because they can Grassy Glide my Dragapult the next turn. So I think I'm going to protect Empoleon and hope that they go for the Wood Hammer into that slot and hope I get the KO on Vaporeon. I do KO the Vaporeon. Beautiful. It's literally just a mind game of who they targeted. Did they Wood Hammer my Dragapult or did they Wood Hammer my Empoleon? Got him. Got him. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Okay. Glad my logic played off. I also don't know if they knock out with Grassy Glide. I feel like they should because I don't have my resistance. But yeah, that should seal it. Phantom Force into Rillaboom. And Ice Beam will finish off the Rillaboom. They can only target one. They realize that. They forfeit. Oh, man. Terra Electric Calm Mind Vaporeon was not in the cards. Is Scalded their only attacking move? I'm still trying to figure out what their moveset is. Because we saw Calm Mind, we saw Scald, and we saw Protect. We don't know what the last move is. But actually, the fact that we didn't KO was actually really good for me. Surprisingly. They made some good plays as well. The knockoff catching the Empoleon was definitely smart. Because Phantom Force was definitely the option there. To play around like a Grassy Glide. Which is what they were thinking of. But yeah, it literally just came down to the last minute. Or last move targeting. And I got it right. All right, we have our Caledon, Pelipper, Dragonite, Sinistra, Goldengo, and Ursaluna. This is very scary because we're playing the ranked number 3 player. How am I approaching this matchup? It's tricky. Yeah, it's definitely tricky. Rain is never an easy matchup here. I don't know if I want to bring... I like Empoleon. I like Blaziken a lot. Caledon's going to be super rough to deal with, but I think it's playable. Do I want to lead the I have so many options here. Like Dragon Ball's pretty good with Terra Ghost, Terra Blast, and a Sinistra and Golden Go. Oh, it'd be so nice here. I also think that Porygon 2 is really good here. It depends on if the gold is set up, I think. That's the question mark. If the gold is set up, this makes it hard. If it isn't, I think it's okay. I think I'm definitely going to go with Blaziken. Because it wants to pressure the Arcalon immediately. With Empoleon. I think Porygon is just way too good to not bring here. Terra Fighting Terra Blast is really good. And then in the back, Rillaboom? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have brought Blaziken. Maybe I should have brought the Ursaluna instead to cover the gold. But the idea of 160 base power pledge in the rain sounds really strong into Golden Go setup. Potentially that might catch them off guard. We'll see. Gonna be the lead of Golden Go Dragonite. Okay. I mean, this isn't awful. It's not ideal, but it's not awful. I wonder if the gold is going to protect. Or if, are you nasty plot? We have so many questions we have to consider. Are you nasty plot gold? You know what? I'm going to double protect and find out. I'm going to risk it being it. We are going to see the swap from the Golden Ghost, so I could have attacked a Dragonite. That's fine, though. Is this Pelipper? Oh, Arcalon? Arcalon comes in. Okay. As we protect our Blaziken, we protect our Empoleon. What is your move choice? I wish I protect Ice Beamed instead, but can't really be a chooser here. Oh my goodness, it's Tailwind. You are Tailwind Dragonite. Oh no. Well, I guess the question is, are you Pelipper back? Because it's probably Scale Shot coming out and then Electro Shot? Oh, this is not going to be good. I think I go Rillaboom, and I think I click Yawn into our Caledon. I don't think I can afford to Terra Grass in this situation as much as I really want to. I don't think I can. All right, are you Power Herb or not is a good question too, because if you're Power Herb, I'm going to get screwed here. I'm playing this as hoping it's not Power Herb, but it might be. Oh, they Encore my Blaziken. And Body Press. That did so much damage for a neutral Body Press, but I'll gladly take that. Okay, I do get the Yawn off into the Arcalon, which probably wants to switch out. And if it switches out, I do have Fake Out for the Dragonite. And Fake Out Ice Beam seems really good if they don't have Protect on the Dragonite. And I will go for Fake Out and Ice Beam in the Dragonite, because I would love that damage in the Dragonite. Getting that damage in the Dragonite would be so nice. Why did Body Press do so much though? Is it invested? Oh, they attacked. Oh no. Oh, that's really bad. Well, I guess, well, it's not that bad, I guess. It's not ideal. But they do take the sleep with our Caledon. I get to go out into Porygon. I mean, yeah, this isn't too bad, I suppose. I think it really depends on what the Dragonite clicks. Does it Scale Shot or not? Gonna bring out the Porygon and get a special attack boost. I don't think you're gonna click Encore realistically. I think I'm gonna just Wood Hammer the slot to get damage, and I'm gonna Ice Beam the Dragonite here. I probably should have doubled up the Dragonite with Wood Hammer plus Ice Beam. But this is probably okay. I don't think you're going to Encore because I could just switch out, or I could go for the Grassy Glide here. I guess if our Caledon stays in, that would be awkward. I'm expecting a switch, but they refused to switch, but they did. Oh boy. That's also a play that they can make. They crit their own Arcalon. These techs are insane. Oh, hold on. These techs are insane. I thought they were going to Scale Shot my Rillaboom to call maybe a Blaze or cover for a Blaziken switch. I mean, this is fine because I have Terra Fighting Terra Blast Porygon, so I don't think it's that bad. I think it depends on how many sleep times our Arcalon has, but I think it's probably acceptable. Wood Hammer. Pathetic damage, but all right. All right, how much does Ice Beam do to Dragonite? Should do a good chunk. Oh, it actually just picks up the knockout. All right. What is their last going to be? Is it Pelipper? Like, gold is probably coming in. I'm going to click Terra Fighting Terra Blast into Arcaludon and hope that I can get that knockout. And then we'll just see what happens for the remainder. I could go out into... Yeah, that's Golden Go. Yeah. I'm just going to Wood Hammer. And I'm just going to go for the Terra Fighting Terra Blast into the Arcaludon. Maybe I should have switched to Blaziken. I debated about switching to Blaziken, but I don't think I want to lose my Sash. It might have been worth it, though. We'll see. It's just because I have no idea who to anticipate is the back. I guess if it's Pelipper, I do need Rillaboom. I do have to bank on one more turn to sleep on the Arcaludon. If I get one more turn to sleep, that's really good. I don't know what gold set this is. Is it Choice Specs? Is it Setup Nasty Plot? Like, the Wood Hammer does get me some pretty good damage. We do see the Terra, though, on my opponent. Smartly on the Arcaludon. Oh, it's Terra Fighting. Huh. It's gonna get really interesting. Also, that's gonna do so much damage, isn't it? It's gonna do so much damage to me. Help. Terra Fighting on the Porygon. Come on. Come on. Yeah, I had a feeling that they were Trick Golden Go. Okay. So what item are you giving me? Choice Specs? Ah, Choice Scarf. Wait, am I faster than Arcaludon? If I'm faster than Arcaludon because of the trick, that'd be incredible. That did a good amount of damage to the Golden Go, surprisingly. I am faster. They gave me the faster. Okay. Terror Blast. Oh, that did nothing. Okay, there's sleep still. That's good. This endgame's really fascinating. But I am just going to double up the Arcaludon with Terra Fighting Terra Blast and Wood Hammer. I don't know. They could pull a reverse Uno card on me and trick my Porygon back so I don't outspeed them anymore. We're going to see the swap actually. Oh, Sinistra? Yeah, that's Sinistra. I mean, I'm going for a crit now. I was hoping to double up KO'd and I think it did, but I do have to go for the crit now. Wood Hammer. There's nothing. At least Sinistra is easier to deal with than... It is easier to deal with than Pelipper as the last. They do wake up. Body Press into Rillaboom. That's an interesting one to target. All right. Comes down to the Sinistra moveset. Blaziken comes in. We get to click Fire Pledge into the Sinistra and we get to go for Terra Blast. If you Rage Powder... Oh boy, this is going to be... Oh, it really just depends. Are you Rage Powder? Our Arcaludon, I think, is Assault Vest, so I don't think it can protect. So we'll find out. Oh, this is a tough game. Oh, wait. No Rage Powder. Wait, I'm faster than Arcaludon. So I do get the Terra Blast. We do see a Citrus Berry on Sinistra. Terra Blast will KO Arcaludon. I wish I had Heat Wave in the moment. I do get rid of Arcaludon, so that's a really big threat gone. That's most of their damage output. Problem is, I don't know if I actually am able to win this game. Trick Room goes up. I don't know if I beat gold in Trick Room next to Sinistra because I'm locked into Terrifying Terra Blast. So gold is going to come in. I don't even think I can protect because if I protect, I give them options to like Life Dew. So I think I have to Fire Pledge to Golden Go. And I think I have to go for Terra Fighting, Terra Blast, I guess. It doesn't matter. I think this just comes down to how much Shadow Ball and Matcha Gacha are doing. But if they life do, I guess I could dodge one Matcha Gacha. I'm pretty sure I'll live a Shadow Ball Matcha Gacha. I don't know if I'll live two though. That's my concern. Luckily, I'm minus defense nature and not minus Bedef nature. Minus Bedef nature would go crazy here. Oh, did they life do? No. Oh wait, life do doesn't work on Gold and Go because of good as gold. Oh, and I got so bailed by that protect. Okay. I wonder if I can time this right. Yeah, that was a bad one. I guess I should have... I mean, I didn't think they were... I think I still have to Fire Pledge to gold regardless. I might have to hope for another miss. Luckily, gold is immune to life dew. I completely forget about this sometimes, as good as gold. Okay, they go for Rage Powder. Oh, that means I should have protected. Actually, wait, if they had Rage Powder, I probably would have lost anyway on like multiple turn occasions. We see the Shadow Ball come out into the Blaziken. Okay, I would have Shadow Ball into Matcha Gacha, but probably not two. I also need a crit into that Sinistra. Yeah, I needed a crit into Sinistra in order to win. Or a Heat Wave. Oh, what was the problem, man? It was... It's how much damage it was, I guess. That body press was doing so much. Also, I overextended with Empoleon, which I didn't think they were going to actually stay in. I thought they were just going to switch. And then I thought I was just going to get like an Ice Beam potential into Dragonite. But I guess I should have just went... Because I thought Golden Gold was safe there, but... They got my Empoleon, which ended up being really bad for me. All right, let's go over to games. In game one, opponent had no fear with the King Gambit against my Blaziken. But the true power was with Empoleon, as they didn't have the best answers to deal with it, especially after the competitive boost. In game two, a tough game trading blow for blow, but getting to see a fire setup allowed my Empoleon to beat the Dragonite and then put the King Gambit to sleep with Yawn, since it would be able to 1v1 it in the end game. In game three, traded some hard reads with my opponent, where one turn I would attack aggressively expecting Protect to work out, and then them attacking even at the risk Golden Go, but the Terra Dragon ended up being a problem as I anticipated Terra Steel. So I needed to have not lost my Empoleon in the early parts of the game, and yeah, that was otherwise the only thing I could have really done against the Golden Go, other than playing maybe a bit more aggressive into it. In game four, their boosted Archaludon next to Blood Moon Ursaluna in screens was tough, but a surprise outspeed from Rillaboom allowed a clutch knockout onto their Blood Moon Ursaluna, allowing my Ursaluna and Blaziken to chip away and finish off the tanky Archaludon. In game 5, Terra Electric Calm Mind Vaporeon was not on my list, but a missed knockout into the Incineroar actually saved me, allowing Dragon Ball to get a Phantom Force, dodging the Rillaboom's Grassy Glide, and calling the Woodhammer into Empoleon with a Protect allowed me to win the game. In game 6, my opponent got me in the first 3 turns, as I probably should have risked going for an Ice Beam turn 1 into the Dragonite, as there was very little chance I was going down, and then not protecting turn 3, trying to call the Drowsy Archaludon to switch out and losing my Empoleon, which was very bad for me. It did also give me a potential opportunity where I could have went for a Terra Blast into Archaludon, taking a potential knockout instead of the Dragonite, which could have been really nice, but those are the only ways I could have really seen myself being able to win that game. Overall, Pledge is really cool. I'm still shocked that I've not been able to get the Swamp. I think the Swamp's actually been really hard. I think the problem is every time I try to go for the Swamp, I don't want to go for the Grass type Swamp, and I'd rather just have the Water move or the Ice move just go straight for the damage. So it was very tough. I've actually been playing a few games with this team, and I still have not been able to set the Swamp, I think, in like 3 hours of me playing with this team. So I don't know how consistently you can get the Swamp, but I imagine, especially in open team sheet, you could probably plan ahead more with the setup for Empoleon and Rillaboom. But I did really like to see a Fire, even though it was a really weak attack based on the Rillaboom special attack stat. It's very helpful because that chip damage was so crucial in a lot of our games, which was pretty nice. And the option for a fast Blaziken and Empoleon, if Empoleon's boosted with that competitive, can go absolutely crazy. So Really cool team. If you do want to try it out, there is a rental code on the screen. Hopefully it is still available by the time this video comes out. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And of course, subscribe and pledge your allegiance to this channel as always.